Hey, Ryan here, and in the next 7 minutes, I'm going to be going through the difference between quizzes and surveys and which one you would use to try to help gather information from potential customers, capture leads, and so on. And of course, I'm going to be using the tool that I always use, which is GoHighLevel. Link in the description, get a 30-day extended trial, only 14 normally, but let's dive right in. So I'm just going to open up my demo account and then click on sites. That's going to take me to the area where I have both surveys and quizzes. Now, just quickly, a form is a form. So a form allows you to capture information that's volunteered from the customer or the lead. Let's just call them leads. Now, if we run a survey is intentional in that it tries to gather information from a sample of a population. The sample gives an indication on how people look at different responses. So, in the case of, say, a census, you have the entire population, whereas a survey would be, say, we surveyed 100 people, and in that, we saw that 30 people were more likely to vote Republican or Democrat or whatever, right? So you can confidently say that 30% of people that responded to this survey have this intention. So this is to try to give you a statistical sense of a sample people or a population of people and how they're thinking about certain things or which direction they're going, what tool they might use, and so on. And so you're looking at many people. With a quiz, you're looking at just the individual. And the quiz gives you the ability to score their responses, provide immediate feedback on that score, and try to essentially develop a relationship with them without you needing to be there by directing them to the right resource in your own organization. So this lends itself particularly well for, say, professional services organizations, and that's the example I'm going to use. We're going to have a bookkeeping company here. So I'm going to add a quiz, and what we're going to do is we're going to choose this first example that comes up, which is for a bookkeeping company. And of course, there's plenty of things that go into needing a bookkeeper. And if you're a bookkeeper, business, then you probably know this. And so what you want to do is you want to first get the information from the individual. So let's ask them, what is your name? What is your email address? So we can provide this feedback to you. And then what you want to do is you want to design the questions. And so here you can see question number 1, how do you manage your bookkeeping? Now, you're either doing it via spreadsheets or you're using accounting software. Occasionally, meaning that you're probably somewhere in the middle, you have, say, Xero or QuickBooks or something, or you've got full processes in place. And so you're giving yourself sort of 3 options here. I'm brand new, I'm kind of 1 foot in, 1 foot out, or I already know exactly what I'm doing. And so you can use this information to, again, qualify them for one service that you might do, or one product, or a combination of the two, or giving them the feedback that they want to kind of self-assess themselves. So if we go into the settings of this question, let's have a look. We've got a whole bunch of information. You might make it mandatory. You might look at different styles. But what we really want to do is we want to look at what is the category that this question belongs to, and then how do we give people scores in that category so that when we assess them, we're providing that information back. So we can add new pages of questions, of course, and we can do all sorts of things. So I might just put in, say, a short answer question, and I'm going to say, what is your preferred cycle of bookkeeping? Now, of course, best is to keep this to multiple choice and things like that, so you can have kind of ratings. But again, this is just a text input, right? So we're just trying to sort of gather information. When we do have choices, we can assign the scores. Now, if we go to the settings, this is where we can see the results page template this is where they're going to be directed to after they've filled out the quiz. And of course, we can capture information on them. We can, put in a Facebook pixel so that we can re-advertise to this person for the longevity of the pixel. So if someone was searching for a bookkeeper, they landed on your quiz, they took the quiz, but then they moved on to other things, they're going to see your brand on Meta for 90 days. And so what we can do is we can go to the results page and we can go to edit. And of course, this gives us the ability to show it, like, what are you going to show? Are you going to show the overall score? Are you going to make these suggestions, right? So if the score is, for instance, 20, what are you going to say? How are you going to display that information? And then of course at the bottom, you've got your call to action. And so that call to action, let me just go back. That call to action is, thanks for, the assessment of the information. Now I want to book my consultation. So you can configure those scores. So again, just going back, you can configure those score tiers. So you can just say, like in this category, when I've been submitting answers to these questions, if they answer a certain way, let's do it on percentage points. Let's do it on points themselves. So that those configurations can all get done. And then when you're ready to go, you're ready to integrate that. Of course, you can just then iframe it, share it, and stick it in on your website. Or of course, then we've got our preview here. So we get to go through and test it out. And of course, let me just put our name in. Great. And you just have this really nice animation that takes you through all of these things. And when we get to the end, we're going to have our submission and we're going to have our score. And of course, you can email that score to them and so on. And so what you're trying to do is you're sort of trying to prove, your, authenticity by showing that you know about this subject matter and that you can guide them to the right level of help. But it's really nice to have, a link that they can click, which is say, contact us, you need to be speaking to us about those things. So that's why you would use a quiz versus say a survey or just conditional forms. But I will make other videos on those two other types of interactions that you can have with leads. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Don't forget, if you like this kind of stuff, please like and subscribe. And if you need this built out for you, visit growthable.io. Link is also in the description. Thanks again, and I'll see you on the next one.